The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The New York Jets begin training camp practices less than 1 week from today. There will be a flurry of positional battles to monitor throughout the next month or so in Florham Park. What are those battles? We'll talk about that and much more, all coming up here on a Thursday edition of the Jake Asman Show, baby. Let's roll.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Jets, let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
What is going on, New York Jet fans? Hello, everyone. Welcome back here into another edition of the Jake Asman Show. I am Connor, long in for Jake Asman, right here with you guys on this Thursday afternoon. Thank you all for hanging out with us right here on the channel. The show is presented by PrizePicks. Questions, comments, thoughts, get all of those in the chat. We're going to get to those super chats. We'll cut the line. Raffle 81, baby. The drawing is coming up on Saturday. Some excellent prizes that include a Darrelle Revis signed pylon. That should be coming up here on the screen if StreamYard wants to load any quicker, but it's a Darrelle Revis signed pylon. You're looking at a Chad Pennington signed jersey. Here we go. Darrelle Revis signed pylon, Chad Pennington signed jersey, a signed Bruce Hall helmet, a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey, and a Jets Legends jersey. Thank you all for hanging out with us right here on the show. Get your super chats, get your gifted memberships in to get in the raffle. Also, don't forget to load up your calls with the link pinned in the chat. We'll, of course, want to hear what you guys have to say less than a week away from training camp. How you're feeling about the Jets, how you're feeling about the top positional battles that will be going on in Florham Park beginning next week. That's where we'll start. And I was looking at the Jets depth chart the other day, as I always do, in depth around this time of year, right before training camp gets started. And something that I found funny is you could make a case that there is a positional battle and a meaningful one of sorts at every position on the Jets depth chart, ranging from quarterback. QB1, as we know, is not up for grabs, with the QB2 battle that we're going to talk about between Cade Klubnik and Bailey Zappi, ranging all the way to cornerback, the back end of the defense, where there are a flurry of names fighting for that top job. We'll start under center with the QB2 conversations. The Jets selecting Cade Klubnik in the 4th round back in April. I, at first, didn't expect him to be the Jets quarterback, too, right behind Geno. But to be fair, I also was under the assumption that I thought the Jets were going to add another veteran into the room, an established guy who has proven to be a solid, competent option when forced into action if the starter were to go down. I mean, I'm talking about like an Andy Dalton, Jimmy Garoppolo type guy, just someone who fits that mold, who has starting experience, who've proven to be a middle of the pack to higher end backup over the past few years. Starting experience, because Bailey Zappi's been in the league, as we know, but doesn't necessarily have the most starting experience. 9 starts throughout his career, 4 and 5 in those starts. Which actually isn't even too shabby of a record. 3 of those 4 wins, by the way, coming on the road. So it isn't anything against Bailey Zappi. I just thought that was going to be more of a point of emphasis this offseason to add a stable QB2 behind Geno, especially after losing Tyrod Taylor pretty early on in the offseason. It doesn't look like the Jets are going to go ahead and do that, though. It appears they're going to roll with what they have in the quarterback room right now. Behind Geno, you're looking at Bailey Zappi, Cade Klubnik, and Brady Cook. I would be stunned, as I think a lot of the Jets fan base would be as well, if Brady Cook somehow emerges and takes the QB2 role. I just don't see it after what happened last year. That would just blow me out of the water. I think the battle, as Aaron Glenn has said and hinted at, it's pretty much going to be between Cade Klubnik and Bailey Zappi. And I'll start with this. I think the Jets are going to give Cade Klubnik every possible opportunity to earn this role. They traded up for him in the fourth round, excuse me. I think they really like him, the tools. It was clearly an upside swing, gambling on the fact that hoping that he's going to revert to the 2024 version of himself at Clemson, where he was effective, he was rushing the ball well, he was able to push it downfield, he was commanding that offense with dominance as a whole, and he really fell off this past year at Clemson. 7-6, their worst record, I think it was, in over a decade. So the Jets are hoping that they could put Cade Klubnik in a situation where you take him in the fourth round, that his upside is good enough where he could maybe be a long-term backup for you. And if you take a QB in the fourth round, day 3 of the draft, and they end up developing in your long-term QB2, that's a win. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to the preseason and Cade Klubnik doesn't look like an NFL quarterback, because at the end of the day, this was still a day 3 pick. This is a guy who's entering his rookie season. It might take some time. And we could talk about training camp. It's tough to evaluate QBs based on training camp practices alone. They're not getting hit. They're wearing the red jersey. The defensive linemen are starting to back off. It just doesn't replicate the same setting of a preseason game that each NFL team gets 3 of every year. So there's that. And I think this battle is going to largely come down to what they look like in the preseason. Zappi has the upper edge in terms of experience. He started 9 games. He's been in the league for a few years now. He has some starts under his belt. Again, I wouldn't be stunned if Klubnik just doesn't look the part of a QB2 immediately in the preseason. And I mean, he's a lock to make the roster. He was taken in the 4th round. We're not talking about him not making the roster. The area where Klubnik actually has an advantage, and you parlay it into roster spots, is we know every year how tight these 53-man rosters are. There are always a few training camp darlings, as I like to call them, or guys who emerge in the preseason and make a push to make the 53. Every spot is so valuable, and you need guys who could do multiple things. Do the Jets really want to carry 3 QBs on their roster? I think there could arguably be a situation where maybe Klubnik isn't as good as Zappi in the preseason, but he at least has solidified a baseline of what the Jets think he can be. And if he gets called into action at some point in the season to replace Geno, if he has to miss a game or 2 during injury, he's not going to be Brady Cook level bad. That's the upper edge, because Klubnik, they're not cutting Klubnik. There's no doubt about that. They can cut Zappi, and I wouldn't be stunned if they did do that. He signed a futures deal back in January. They have no commitment to him. If Klubnik, he doesn't even have to blow them out of the water. If he is just competent throughout the preseason, there could be a case that's made where the Jets just carry 2 QBs on the roster. They could stash Zappi on the practice squad and go from there. That allows them to maybe carry an extra cornerback, offers more flexibility in the trenches, both offensively and defensively. So I think that's where Klubnik has the leg up there. He's already a lock to make the roster, no matter what. So unless he struggles mightily and Zappi really emerges throughout the preseason, there could be a case made that the Jets are better off just rolling with 2 QBs on the 53 into the season, that being Geno and Club. So we're going to get a good look at it, though, between the joint practices that the Jets have, joint practice with Tampa Bay, and then throughout the preseason. I'd expect Klubnik and Zappi to and Cook pretty much get all the reps throughout the preseason. I'd be surprised if we saw Geno for more than a drive or 2 in one of the preseason games. So we'll certainly get a good look at that. Moving over to the running back position. This is a conversation that we've had for 3 years now. Who is the Jets RB2 behind Breece Hall? Isaiah Davis, Braylon Allen, each entering their 3rd seasons in the league. Braylon, I think I've given him this label on this very show. I describe Braylon Allen as a workout warrior. Every summer, this time of year, you start to see clips of him working out. No, he's going to be the 3rd down machine, the red zone option, the bulldozer, Derrick Henry 2.0. 2 years into his career, he hasn't proven to fulfill any of those labels. His rookie year, I'll give it to him. Like, there were so many moving parts in 2024. They couldn't get the run game going. It was a very, very much of a down year for Brees. It was really tough to get Braylon integrated into the offense. Same goes for Isaiah Davis. And then this past year, we saw him for 3 full games and then fumbles at the goal line in Miami. And then a few drives later, gets hurt on the kickoff, season-ending knee injury. So it was a very limited sample size for Braylon last year when he was heavily listed as a breakout candidate for the Jets. How does he bounce back in the new offense? I mean, the guy's played now 3 different entering his 3rd season. This is going to be his 3rd offensive coordinator, 3 years in the league. And I get it. It's not as important as quarterback in terms of like having that relationship, but the shuffling around his systems is certainly something to keep in mind because he's a very role specific guy. Braylon Allen isn't an every down back or a workhorse. He's a very niche 3rd and short at the red zone type guy. So that's how the OC and the shuffling of the schemes could affect him in particular. I've been an Isaiah Davis fan. I'm going to stick with that. I think he makes a lot more sense in the RB2 role. At least that's going to be in pencil on the depth chart. He's been far more efficient. He averaged 5.5 yards per target he averaged 6.5 yards per target compared to Allen's 5.5 last season. He's more effective in the receiving game. And then yards per carry, it's night and day. 5.6 yards per carry for Davis and then 3.7 for Allen. I think he's more of a 3-down guy. He's proven to be far more effective in the receiving game throughout his career. I've been a Isaiah Davis fan since he was drafted, and that's not to say that they can't work with each other. I think the beauty of it is, again, Allen has a very specific skill set that can be utilized, whereas I think Davis is kind of like more of a Hall backup. For example, if Bruce Hall were to go down with injury, and you hope that doesn't happen with the way the Jets' running back room is currently constructed, I would rely on Isaiah Davis to take on the vast majority of those carries compared to Braylon Allen. So currently, and again that could change. I think there's a very solid chance that Allen could kind of show us who he is this year and get on the right track. But right now, I'm in the Braylon Allen camp. With the wide receiver room right now for the Jets, behind Garrett, literally every spot is up for grabs. 2 through 5 so technically 2 through 6 because Garrett is the number 1. 2 through 6 in the Jets receiver room. All those spots are on the line. You're looking at the top names right now: Adonai Mitchell, Omar Cooper Jr. is a rookie, Tim Patrick, Arian Smith, Jamal Pritchett is still kind of lurking. A.D. Mitchell is someone who fits perfectly with Geno. I think that's been discussed ad nauseum, not only here on this program, but also on Jets Twitter, Jets YouTube, all the above. The fit with Geno is due to his deep game. I mean, A.D. Mitchell in 2 years in the league has established himself as a really, really solid separator. We saw it down the stretch with the Gang Green last year. We saw it with the Colts to begin his season. He just hasn't had a quarterback who can get him the ball. And with Geno, during his time in Seattle, he was one of the best deep ball throwers in the league. So that is a very, very A.D. Mitchell friendly quarterback, if that makes sense. Like Geno could come in and really unlock A.D. And Mitchell's ceiling is very, very promising in this league. If he could be a deep threat who continues to separate at the level he does, but has the QB, you could just get him the ball. That's such a valuable piece. I think this is a guy who, I mentioned it earlier on training camp darlings, due to his deep ball ability and some of the highlights we could see in the preseason. I think this is someone who's going to have a huge summer. And right now, if you're asking me, I think he's the Jets WR2 to open the season. That's subject to change, and I like Omar Cooper Jr. and his versatility in terms of being able to play in the slot, being able to play on the outside. But right now, A.D. Mitchell is my pick to be the Jets' number 2 wide receiver behind Garrett to open the season. I'm intrigued to see how that is, what that connection looks like, and also how Geno's able to get the ball to Omar Cooper Jr. Just the way the targets are going to be distributed as a whole will be very intriguing because we know Geno likes to throw the deep ball. That is evident. Saw it from his time in Seattle. He even threw it at a pretty high volume when he could last year with the Raiders. Is Omar more of a slot guy who they throw deep balls to, or more of an outside guy who they throw deep balls to and use him in that AD Mitchell style role? Or do they move him into the slot where he had a lot of success last year at Indiana? I'm interested to see where the Jets see Omar fitting in. So that's certainly going to be something that we'll see over the summer throughout training camp. We'll see it in the preseason in terms of alignment and things of that nature. But the role that he will fulfill this year could certainly fluctuate due to that versatility and what he showed his final 2 years at Indiana. Beyond that, with the depth spots, I think Tim Patrick and Arian Smith will round out the room. I could see Jamal Pritchett getting a spot on the practice squad. I just don't think the offensive production is there for him to warrant a spot on the 53 currently. I don't want to carry more than 6 receivers. I don't think the team should carry more than 6 guys in the receiving room. I personally just don't think it's worth it. Pritchett was very good in the return game last year, and he showed some offensive competence in the preseason. But when you look at the Jets right now, their returners are set. They didn't have Isaiah Williams last summer. They have him now, who finished the year as the team's MVP. Kene Nwangu's re-signed after an incredible season. They have the returners locked up. So where would Pritchett fit in that picture? I don't know. And he wasn't good enough offensively, in my opinion, to earn a roster spot solely based on that. So I would say Pritchett is in contention for a practice squad spot. I don't know about a spot on the 53. Tim Patrick is kind of a signing that happened. I mean, after the big wave of free agency went down in May. I'm interested to see what his role looks like. Is he more of a mentor? Is he going to be able to actually get utilized in the game plan? Because Patrick, talk about separation. I mentioned it with AD Mitchell. I was looking at the film and the analytics. Tim Patrick was a very good separator last year. Are they able to carve out some type of niche role for him? He's had 6 touchdowns over the past 2 years, 3 last year, 3 the year before with Detroit. So what does he look like? Is he just a traditional end of the roster wide receiver who doesn't see much on the field? Is he a game day scratch? I don't know, but the separation and the touchdown ability, when you couple that with his size at 6'5", maybe there's a bit of a role for Tim Patrick. And Arian Smith, you're just hoping that the QB change and the offensive system change can get him on the right track, because last year was atrocious. Not only did he not have someone who could throw him the ball, but in the injury-riddled wide receiver room last year, he couldn't even find snaps down the stretch. So does that change? Is he able to find the field? Is he able to be something? I know his tantalizing ceiling was very intriguing to fans last year. It still is for me. Someone who was that fast, I know there were the drop issues, of course, and he had a really bad rookie season, but the speed alone is enticing. Similar to AD Mitchell, does he just need the quarterback? Could he improve separation-wise? He was really good on special teams last year, but the offensive production is going to need to come for Arian Smith. With the tight end room, that also is going to impact how the Jets distribute targets. They have 2 guys who they've taken in the top 50 these past 2 years. Mason Taylor, a second-round selection in the 25 draft. Kenyon Sadiq, 16 overall this year. The thing that I like most, as I've spoken about multiple times, is the fact that they could be utilized next to each other. Sadiq has taken an immense amount of snaps in the slot. He also has experience in line. For someone who's 6'3", he held his own. He held his own fairly well as a blocker last year at Oregon. With Mason Taylor, I think he's more of the inline guy. I think we're going to see more of Sadiq in the slot, Taylor in line when they're on the field together. Taylor's contested catch ability is what really caught my eye last year. Converted over 75% of his contested catch opportunities. It's the second most among qualified tight ends, just behind George Kittle last year. I was very impressed with that element of his game. If he continues to win in those situations and be dominant in the 50-50 areas, you're looking at a guy who could emerge as just the go-to target in the red zone. And that would be huge. That'd be huge. Someone who was a second-round pick 2 years ago, if he could be a guy in year 2 who's producing 5-6 touchdowns, that'd be massive. Not only a win of a draft pick, but just would show some promise in the sense of like the Jets actually being able to properly utilize their tight ends. We haven't seen that in a long, long time. And there are areas where he needs to clean up. Like I think his route running ability still needs to be refined. The drops were an issue at points last season, but I'm certainly fascinated to see how he slides in the new offense as well. And then you still have Jeremy Rucker, who took a step forward both as a pass catcher and a blocker last year. I'm fascinated to maybe see how he fits in. Do they run some 13 personnel? It's not something Frank Reich has elected to do a ton in the past. Heck, he hasn't even liked to run a lot of 12 personnel, but now he has 2 tight ends in the picture. So he's going to need to adapt in that regard. If Ruckert's able to be a competent run blocker for you, that's completely fine. I thought he played well last year, deserved the extension after his improvement throughout the course of the year, taking on an increased role. So I think he could be like I think he's a tight end 3. Where he is on the Jets depth chart right now, I think that's who he is as a player. Ladies and gentlemen, hit like, hit subscribe, questions, comments, thoughts, throw all of those in the chat. Super chats will cut the line. Get your question read ASAP right here on the channel. Shout out to our guy, Ralphie Rocks, with a $10 super chat. Says, good job, Connor. Please tell me Mozzie Smith has a chance to make this team. 6'3", 330, former first-round pick. Getting a second and a first-rounder for Q was okay, but this guy should be more than just a throw-in who we cut. Well, Ralphie, thank you so much for the kind words, and I appreciate the super chat, but I am not a Mozzie Smith fan. I'll say that. I don't see it. I understand the draft pedigree, and when they traded for him, I was like, okay, a first-round pick out of Michigan a few years ago, had his struggles in Dallas, but maybe he could show something down the stretch and emerge as a late-season riser. No, didn't happen. Healthy scratch in multiple games. When you look at the additions the Jets made to the defensive tackle room as well this offseason, I just don't see where he fits. You're looking at a very crowded room to begin with between Tavondre Sweat, David Onyemata, Harrison Phillips, Denzel Jackson Jr., who they drafted in the 4th round. Just the D tackle room as a whole, I just don't see where he fits in. Maybe he bursts onto the scene this summer. Maybe he shows us something that we haven't seen yet. But I'm not the biggest Mozzie Smith fan. And you throw Jawan Briggs on there as well. How did I forget about him? So you have 5 DTs right there. The max I would carry on the defensive line is like 11. I think that's about the ceiling. So you have the 5 defensive tackles who I just listed. Off the edge, you have Bailey, Osai, McDonald, obviously. Beyond that, Bailey, Osai, McDonald, and Egbare. That's 4. So that's 9 guys right there. That leaves about like 2 spots for guys who could sneak on. Like Braden McGregor, Eric Watts. You could technically throw Mozzie in there. Peyton Page. Those are the 4 guys who I think are in contention. If you want to give them a spot on the practice squad, sure, I'd be okay with that. But not on the 53. For him to stick around in general, he's going to need to have a big summer. Jake Asman, appreciate the support as always, my guy, dropping in, gifting a membership. Thank you so much, Jake. Appreciate the continued support. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for the opportunity, as always, to come on here, help you out, host the show. It means a lot, my friend. So thank you for gifting a membership. I wish the YouTube, the chat is going by real quick today. I'm trying to see. Can I see who that membership went to? Buddy Lucy Daisy Rocks. That's who the gifted membership went to. And folks, don't forget about Raffle 81, the drawing coming on Saturday. Some incredible prizes that include a Darrell Revis signed pylon, a Chad Pennington signed jersey, a Breece Hall signed helmet, a Vinny Testaverde signed jersey, and then a Jets Legends jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, get your entries in for the raffle. Every gifted membership gets you that amount of entries. And then beyond that, $10 super chats or higher will also get you in. Good call out here. DNAT says Tyler Barron not making the 53. He is someone who, like, it's easy to forget that he's on the Jets roster with just how quiet he was last year. And I really liked that pick. And I was a Tyler Barron fan. I thought he had an opportunity to come in and make a difference right away. He was really good against the run off the edge in college, which is an area where the Jets were lacking proven commodities last year, and that was shown throughout the course of the season. But even with like a bad edge room, there's downright bad edge room. Healthy scratch, didn't look like an NFL player when on the field. I'd be very surprised if he made the team. I don't want to say very surprised, but I'm not. I haven't had him on any of my 53-man roster predictions, and barring a strong summer or a really good preseason, I don't think I'll have him there. Shout out to Football Guy 2308 dropping in with 1,000 gems as Go Trophy. Appreciate the support. I'm not familiar with these gems yet, guys. Maybe you guys know. Let me know in the chat. But what do these gems do? I know this is like a newer addition to YouTube. I'm not too familiar with them, so inform me, please. Anyone in the chat or Football Guy, whoever has any insight on this. So yeah, that's a new integration that YouTube has put out there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for hanging out with us. Hit like, hit subscribe, questions, comments, thoughts. Keep those going in the chat. Super chats will cut the line and get your question read immediately right here on the channel. Call into the show with the pinned comment at the top. Well, now with YouTube, the bottom of the chat. So the pinned comment in the chat to call into the show. We're going to take your calls. We're going to keep it going with your questions. Keep it going with our training camp preview. But don't forget, you're watching the Jake Asman Show presented by PrizePicks. I'm Connor Long in for Jake Asman right here on this Thursday edition of the show, baby.
The Jake Asman Show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Check out PrizePicks right now. If you're a sports fan, they have something for everyone, especially if you're one of my listeners and you're gearing up for the upcoming Jets season. For player picks on PrizePicks, you just pick a player you like and you go more or less on a few of their stats. Check out some of the numbers they have for some of your favorite Jet players. Geno Smith, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq, and many more. PrizePicks should be your go-to, and check out their new offer right now. Play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you need to do is sign up and use that code HMA. That's PrizePicks code HMA. Download the app now or click the link in the description to download the PrizePicks app today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime.
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Connor Long in for Jake Asman right here on the Jake Asman Show. Call into the show with a pinned comment in the chat. Super chats will cut the line. Memberships get you in. Raffle 81. Let's head over to the phone lines. First up here on the show today, Stefan Stelling. Actually, one of my colleagues over at Jets X Factor. Stefan.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, Connor.
Good to see you too. How's everything been?
Good. Just started a new job, so getting used to that.
Awesome.
Excited to call in. Thankfully, I was able to get out a bit early and saw you were on. Decided to call in.
Oh, appreciate you hopping on. What's on your mind?
Yeah, dude, it's Jets always, all the day, all the time, and my dog when she needs me. But yeah, no, I heard you love talking about the Jets' weapons right now. I was like, you know me, I'm excited about that. There's not a lot to be excited about going into this season, but just the offensive weapons we got, and even the offensive line too. It's like, where do you think this tight end room ranks all time for the Jets? Because like, the biggest thing is we just haven't had good tight ends. Yeah. So it's just like, obviously.
And when have we had two? When have we seen two with this pedigree as well?
I know.
2 guys drafted back to back like that.
I had to research it because I was thinking about it the other day. I'd say just alone, Kenyon Sadiq, first round talent, looks like a playmaker at wide receiver. Well, as a receiver, Mason Taylor, we already saw him really improved as a blocker, as a rookie. As you said, his contested catch ability has really been impressive. Definitely want to see a bit more after the catch, but should have a lot more opportunities with the players around him now. I was like, yeah, I think the last time is the 1970s. I'm completely forgetting who it was. Is Dooley? I can't remember, but it's got a lot of potential. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you there 100%. Like, thinking back, when aside from Dustin Keller, the best Jets tight end we've seen since Keller. Who's it? Tyler Conklin? I was actually thinking about this the other day. Since Dustin Keller, who has been the best Jets tight end we've seen? It's probably Tyler Conklin. And it's nothing against Conk, because I love Tyler Conklin. I thought he did a really good job with the Jets and fulfilled his role and was good in contested situations and was a really good pass catcher as a whole. But that's a very low bar to have your best tight end be in over a decade span, Tyler Conklin. So Sadiq and Taylor certainly both have the opportunity to shatter that mark.
Yeah, aside from him is, Chris Herndon, his rookie year.
Yeah.
Before, I don't know what happened with him. And then Austin Severian Jenkins definitely flashed before he got screwed out of that touchdown against the Patriots.
Yeah, for sure. Stefan, well, thank you for the call, man. You got anything else on your mind?
These playmakers. So you're a big AD guy, you're saying?
I'm a big AD guy. Yeah, the separation ability, the size. Clean up the drops a little bit, and you're looking at a guy who could win with a good.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame you on that. Like you can't teach speed, and he's got that in droves. And I'm a big Amari Cooper guy, though. I really think after the catch, he was forcing a missed tackle on almost half of his catches. That's absurd. It's just I think, although I just love how they all pair together. You got AD taking the top off the defense, Omar Cooper underneath making plays with the ball in his hands, and then Garrett Wilson who could do it all. It's just I don't see how opposing defenses are really get prepared for that. Not to mention, as we already talked about, Kenyon Sadiq, Mason Taylor, Ruckert's, he's a solid backup tight end. And our newly paid star running back, Breece Hall. Thrilled we got that done. I really wasn't expecting us to pay him or Tippmann. I'm really pleased we got that done.
Yeah, I agree with you 100. Tippmann, I expected Breece. Tippmann is the one that surprised me a little bit.
And a great deal, too. That was a huge part.
And I wrote about this the other day. I touched on it as well. I think you could come up with something. Kevin Zeitler is just sitting on the open market still. I think he's a perfect fit for the Jets. You could bring him in, slide him in at guard. He's been one of the most effective guards in the league despite continuing to get up there in age. You move Tippmann to center where he was one of the best in the league 2 years ago. You take Josh Myers out of the picture. You have more depth there. I think Tippmann is a better guard than he is a center, but this season – just the versatility, first off, is the most valuable tool that he has, in my opinion. But for this season alone, having Zeitler come in at guard and Tippmann being the center, I think makes the most sense.
No, that's I definitely understand that thought. The reason I'm laughing so much right now is I actually just wrote an article about that. I have to do the final touches. Literally word for word what you are saying to me. I actually referenced your article and it's saying as you said, as Connor Long said, Kevin Zeitler is available on the free agent market. There's just no good center options available. I tried looking for trade candidates. Garrett Bradbury's the best option I found, but he's past his prime. Yeah. Ryan Glasgow, same thing. They just at this point in their careers, they're not really better than Myers. So it's just what's the point? And I literally came to the same conclusion as you. The only way I could think to address really just the center position is to move Tippmann back to center, sign Zeitler. Really, it's a lot easier to find a guard right now than a center, whether it be via trade or there's some free agents. Again, it's pretty rare.
Definitely.
It's late July. There's not a lot of good players around.
Certainly. Well, Stefan, appreciate the call, man. Talk soon. Have a great day.
Yeah, take care. See you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stefan Stelling, colleague over at Jets X Factor, jumping in here on the show. Appreciate the call. Appreciate the support, as always, right here on the channel. Shout out to Doc the Jet fan, dropping in with a $5 super chat. It's kind of one of the ignored, underrated roles of an experienced QB2 is going to be mentoring Cade. Gino will be busy learning a new offense. Pick up QB2 wisely. I understand that. I also think, and having that connection with an experienced quarterback is important, but I think an area where Cade will be helped as well is the Jets offensive coaching staff, OC with Frank Reich and then QB's coach and Bill Musgrave. Two of the most experienced hires they could have made. Reich having multiple stints as an OC and a head coach in the league. Musgrave one of the most experienced QB coach options you could have landed. Has been an OC before, a QB coach in several different destinations at both the college and pro level. If Zappy is really bad in preseason, and the same goes for Brady Cook, and someone like Andy Dalton's available on cutdown day, I could understand that. But just right now, looking at the options, who are you going to add? Cooper Rush, who struggled mightily last year when called into action with Buffalo. So I don't think that would be worth the squeeze there. A lot of it will hinge on what happens in the preseason, in my opinion. Names are going to come loose on cutdown day. Before then, though, I really don't see the Jets making any move behind Geno at quarterback, obviously barring an injury or something of that nature. Keeping it going with their calls. Next up here on the show is the great David T.
I've got my eye on you. Check, make me full screen. It's fireball whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
All right,
What's
Con.
up, David? How you doing?
All right, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well.
All right. Hey, anytime Jake needs a break or the scheduling, the only one that is my preference is for you to sit in and hold down the fort.
Thank you so much.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. I guess it's putting you on the spot. I see the Jets here as, there are people looking for, 10, 11 wins. Don't think that's going to happen. And then there's like a middle tier, 7 to 9, and that might keep Aaron Glenn as coach. And then I'm locked in at 5 to 6. And the Jets kind of move on from Aaron Glenn, and they have the draft picks next year, and the money and everything. How are you feeling?
Right now, it's like the summer is when everyone starts to get a little more optimistic than maybe we were in the off season, or to begin the off season at the very least, in the March through April range.
Not me this year, Connor. I'm usually very optimistic. I think Jake would tell you, but this year I think I'm more realistic than optimistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm there with you. I think when you talk from a talent standpoint, you're looking at a ceiling of like 8 or 9 wins for this team. That's if Geno is a lot better than he was last year, and the deep ball's looking a lot prettier, and the defense has improved dramatically, and they're top 12, top 13 unit in the league. The offensive line is doing.
Yeah, I as far as Geno goes, he's going to be very serviceable. In my mind, ever since I'm a kid, I believe your quarterback should be your hero and everything. But he's a knucklehead. But he's a good knucklehead, I guess.
Yeah, I think like my expectation in terms of a win prediction right now probably be 6 or 7, something like that. I just don't have enough confidence in the coaching staff to put it in the 7 to 8 range. I really like the roster right now. I think it's improved dramatically. Just taking a more balanced approach to, especially filling out the defense, is going to be huge for the team this year. I don't have enough confidence in the coaching staff to predict more than 6 or 7 wins right now. Aside from Glenn, what is Frank Reich going to look like as the play caller? Still a lot of moving pieces there, and Reich was out of the league for a year after he was already starting to get aged and phased out of the pros. So is he able to adapt and make a comeback arc of sorts? I guess we'll see this season.
Yeah. So my feeling is, and I won't keep you on long.
No problem.
Aaron Glenn. I unless a magic wand comes along and he becomes a really super good head coach. And the other coaches I don't know about. I know Frank Reich was a head coach, and they brought a guy from Pittsburgh in for the defensive line and everything. My feeling is no matter what happens, the arrow is still pointing up, because like I said, whatever the record is, then they go into the off season. Depending on what the other teams do, they got some really good draft picks, and we're going to get the opportunity to draft a bona fide quarterback next year. So, in the meantime, develop the players, do the best you can, and we'll see what happens.
Definitely. David, thanks for the call, man. Any final thoughts?
No, I think you're terrific, Connor.
Means a lot. Appreciate the support. Have a great rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen. Great David T. Checking in right here on the program. Questions, comments, thoughts. Keep those flowing in the chat. Get your super chats, your gifted memberships in as well. Shout out to our guy Rick Kent dropping in with 10 gems. Still don't know anything about the gem system and how they work, but thank you for the support, Rick, and says, happy poop. Very context. The statement is lacking context there, but nevertheless, thank you for the support right here on the channel, Rick. Ladies and gentlemen, like, subscribe. I'm Connor Long in for Jake Asman right here on this Thursday edition of the Jake Asman Show. Keeping it going with your calls. The great Kyle Clifton is up next right here on the program. What's up, Kyle?
How you doing, Connor?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. So that's some of the battles we were talking about. It's now or never for Braylon Allen, right? Like you can dismiss the rookie year, you can dismiss the injury year, but like he's never had a quarterback that should be able to spread the offense a little bit. Now he's got that a little bit. So like if you think that this is a guy who is 3 yards in a cloud of dust and maybe he can break some arm tackles for you, he should be able to get it going a little bit this year if he has a role in the room, right? That's and if he doesn't, then maybe he's just the workout warrior you described.
Yeah.
And then financially you'll be able to move off him after this year. Like it's going to be very easy.
Yeah.
So you and I view the quarterback situation, I think, very differently.
Sure.
So to me, if you can call him a day 3 pick, but I think the bottom half rounds of the draft on day 3 are wildly different than the top 20 picks in the 4th round. I think the kid has innate ability. He's shown it at the college level before. But, to some of the people in the chat's point, like if Glenn is trying to win right now, they probably need a better option than what they have right now. Because, if you think that he's not going to be ready to roll, week 1, then we kind of have a problem right here. Like that's like tanking behavior. Because if something happens with Gino, who is no spring chicken, then we've got a significant issue. Because we know that Brady Zappi and Bailey Zappi and Brady aren't the guys.
Correct.
So it's just it's kind of mixed messages that we're getting from the team on the quarterback situation is what I would say. You would think that they would be behaving one way if they're trying to salvage Glenn's job, but they haven't really paid attention to that. That position. The last thing is about I'm a little frustrated by the fact that I can't remember what my last point was.
It's all good. I want to jump in on what you said about the quarterback situation, though. The good news, and injuries could happen whenever. I'm not trying to dismiss this possibility. The good news is Gino historically throughout his career has been very healthy. 16, 15 games really since It's like the average amount that he's played in these past years. I'll pull up the exact numbers. He started last year 15 games with the Raiders, 17 in Seattle the year prior, 15 in 2023, and 17 in 22. So like there's at least that. You're not talking about a guy who's, historically been limited throughout his career and someone who's bound to miss 5 or 6 games each season. But I do understand your concern, though, in the sense of like, hey, you're looking at a situation right now where if something happens to Geno, a 4th-round rookie could come in and have to take over as the starter at any point, or a guy in Bailey Zappi who isn't the most established QB2 in the league and didn't play last year.
So now I recall exactly what I was trying to say.
Okay.
I'm very comfortable rolling out Parham and Tip as the starters at guard. I'm not at all comfortable with Josh at center. So, like, to me, the time to go out and get a veteran to come in and kind of challenge him is come and gone, unless you're going to go into the pre-camp market, right? And by then, it's kind of too late. He's going to probably have to just, whoever the player would be, would probably have to sit for a couple of weeks and then come in and possibly challenge him. And is that possibly an option based on availability and like opportunity and price and stuff like that? That's something I would probably look for. That's all I have, but I appreciate your time as ever. You're doing a great job.
Appreciate you, Kyle. Thanks so much for the support right here on the channel. As always, I think if Josh Myers isn't going to be the starting center, what I discussed with Stefan, I think that's the most likely possibility. I think it's you sign someone like Kevin Zeitler. I think the guard options are much more enticing right now. You get someone in the building like Zeitler. He plays guard, and you move Tippmann back to center, at least in the short term. And then you could draft a center next year or figure it out in free agency. The fact that they still didn't take a day 3 swing on an interior offensive lineman this year, like a Sam Hecht or a Connor Liu, still puzzles me. Don't understand that at all. I didn't like the fact that they prioritized a backup quarterback in that situation and traded their 2 fourths to go up and 2 additional fourths to go up and get them there. We have more gems in the chat. Shout out to the big fella who echoes Rick's message of happy poop. Still don't know the lore here. Tenacious who says gold coin. Thank you for the support, everyone right here on the channel. Appreciate all the kind words and the love as we come to you guys live right here on this Thursday afternoon. My name's Connor Long, filling in for Jake Asman. For those of you guys who were just tuning in right here on the show, and we head up to the layer because next up here on the channel is
just leave a message. Just leave a message. Thank you.
Truths, Connor. Truths.
Pardon?
I mean, how you doing? Truths.
Doing well, Beast. How are you? You got an echo going on there.
Not necessarily. I got my fan. I got double fan going.
No, like I'm saying, I can hear myself. There is feedback coming through when I'm talking to you.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I got it all in the.
Well, yes, I can hear it.
I can hear it. Well, I got.
Beast, aren't you the tech guy?
I got the fan going. I got the AC going. It's already at 68. She's feeling good, but we're getting closer and closer to that preseason game because we gotta win these first three first. I want to surpass Tampa, get our little revenge win back from them. Then we got Pittsburgh, and then we got the G-Men. We just gotta focus on that first three first. Yes. Get that under control.
Beast, can you leave StreamYard, please, and rejoin? This is tough for me to listen to with my.
Oh, son of a bitch! Give me a second.
Just leave a message. Just leave a message. Thank
you. Tweet. Stringing the cheese.
Well, Beast is supposed to be our tech guy. He seems to have issues there, so we will go back to him once he rejoins. But in the meantime, let's go to our guy, Ricky New York Live, who is on hold, but I have to stall for Ricky, I can't find your intro. I was hoping to find it. I couldn't. It wasn't in the folder. I'm sorry. I already previewed you. I was improvising there. How you doing? This is your intro.
It's all good, man. It's all good. How you doing, Connor?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the call.
Dude, I have got to say, the other day, interview with Victor Green, one of my very favorite Jets. Awesome job, dude.
Thank you so much.
Awesome job. Very good listen. Despite the fact that Victor Green had some real for real Ricky New York internet going on that day.
He did.
But you were able to power through it. Dude, it was awesome when you were talking to him and you go, yeah, man, I'm getting some feedback. And he goes, not necessarily. I'm like, what do you mean? I can hear it. Oh my goodness. At least I'm not the tech guy.
Yes.
But yeah, man, terrific job, Connor. I just kind of came on to give you props real quick.
Appreciate that.
An awesome interview. Real proud of you and everything you've been doing. And I'll have to link back up with you at some point.
Definitely.
But, dude, things are different this year. Things will be different this year. So everybody, give it a chance. This is going to be good. Hold on to that rope. Everybody have a great day.
Well, Ricky, before I let you go, Jay Quest wants to thank you for the T-shirt that you sent him, and I don't want to forget about that. So, Jay Quest is saying thank you.
You're very welcome, Jay Quest. Glad you like it. I actually got his message just before I got on here, but awesome. Dude, this community is awesome.
Yes, sir.
I love giving back whenever I can. So
absolutely. Well, Ricky, thank you so much for the kind words and support. It really means a lot. I fumbled the intro, but we have to get it in here one way or another because it's one of my favorites. So we'll play it as the outro. Thank you, Ricky. Have a great day. Talk soon, my friend.
I'm Ricky New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State.
Oh.
I'm Ricky New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State, I really love Florida State. Jordan Travis, you know it's from Florida State. At any rate, I call into smoking debate. Florida State, I really love Florida State. At any rate, thanks for taking my call, Jake.
StreamYard really does not want me to find any level of success with these intros and outros today. I fumble the intro, and then we're playing the outro, and then it just stops midway through, but we power through and we get it resumed. Apologies. This is atrocious on my end. I need to know how to use these use these tools. That is the Jake Asman StreamYard verse properly. So thank you all for sticking with us. Sorry about that. Big Fella dropping in with $5 super chat. Thank you for the support right here on the channel, Big Fellas. If someone has to console bingo, that is Bunky. Diego got cut. I actually did see that Diego Pavia got waived by the Ravens. Jets QB2, Diego Pavia this year. Club struggles, bringing Pavia for some reinforcements. Could you imagine what that situation would look like? We got 10 gems from Kevin. Shout out to you, Kevin. Thank you for supporting the channel. And then, did we touch these or no? We didn't, because then Tenacious came in with another 10. Thank you all for the support right here on the channel. And then our guy Cisco Lopez came in and gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Cisco. Appreciate the support right here on the channel. Those memberships went to Crazy L, JK Very Cool, Dallas, James Santana, Brandon James, and Sean 9274. So thank you so much for the gifted membership, Cisco. Folks, raffle 81 is coming up soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all the support right here on the channel. And don't forget, raffle 81 is coming up. The drawing is on Saturday. A Darrelle Revis signed pylon. A Chad Pennington signed jersey. Breece Hall signed helmet. A Vinny Testaverde signed jersey. And a Jets Legends jersey. Those are the prizes. Send the amount of gifted memberships that you want and entries. That will get you in the raffle. And then $10 or more super chats will also qualify for you to get in. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate all the continued support right here on the channel. The tech issues are believed to have been fixed, or at least at the moment. He is backstage, so we will give it a try. Beastbreaker. Let's see if he is ready to rock and roll tech-wise.
Oh, when you got to fart, you got to fart.
You just ripped ass. You're no better than Gorman.
At least I'm 10 times sexier than Gorman. That's a goddamn team.
Beast, are we there?
Are we there?
Are we in business? Oh, God, the echo is still there. Oh, that's a clip. Are you okay, Beast?
I had something stuck.
So, Beast, do you have a YouTube tab open? I think I know what this might be.
Nah, there's no YouTube tab open because I already have it closed off.
Well, there is an echo, and I think it's actually gotten worse since when you first joined.
There is no such thing as that. Everything is all
there
off.
is.
I don't know where the frick it is. What is going on here?
You might have a YouTube tab open on your computer.
How the hell do I have it open when I don't have that on? And for everybody's freaking information, I don't watch naughty videos on this computer because I got a malware thing on here. You dummies. You need to wake up and clean your ears.
Beast, try it one more time because this is insufferable.
Good afternoon. I'd like one bag of dicks, please. Thank you very much. All right, I got my bag of dicks. Let's go.
Beast, apologies there. I'd love to have you on. It's just the echo is tough to manage there. Beast, you're the tech guy. Come on, you should know how to manage this. I'm telling you, I think it is the YouTube. I think it's the YouTube tab that's open that is causing the echo on your end. But it's tough to listen to there. Next up here on the show, as we keep it rolling with your calls, Carlos DeBarber is up here on the program. Carlos, how you doing, man?
What's going on? But you didn't put my intro on, Connor. What's going on?
I'm telling you, man, these StreamYard issues, they are killing me. The intro's now stopped loading on the side of my screen. I don't know what this is, but apologies there for you, Carlos, because I see it. It's just struggling when I press it. Apologies.
Well, Connor,
I'll try to get
bad.
it the way on.
Don't feel bad, Connor. I don't have one.
That's why. But I'm telling you, I can't even. This StreamYard issue is killing me, man. It is a pain because I was trying to get the stuff for Beast too, and it kept coming in and out. It's just
but I really don't have an intro. I haven't had an intro ever.
I'm just talking about in general, on the side of it. It's
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
My bad there. Yeah.
What's on your mind? What's up, Asmaniacs, everybody? Hey, by the way, Connor, you always do a great job, but I just kind of wanted to tell you that.
Thank you so much.
Like listening to you as well. I do have a question for you. I noticed last time you was on, there was some people kind of getting onto you about your Justin Fields takes. A lot of people saying you were high on Justin Fields. I just kind of I wanted to hear you out, man. I wanted to give you the opportunity here to give us a little bit about the Justin Field love relationship that you had last year with him.
Yeah, during the season, I had no love relationship at all. I thought, and I still stand by the decision that I thought it was wise for the Jets to move on from Aaron Rodgers. I still stand by that. If I could make that decision again, I would not have brought Rodgers back. I thought Fields was the best available option. I was excited for the upside, but my opinion evolved pretty quickly when we went in the season. I had no sort of affinity or connection to Fields that I was tied with him or I wanted him to stay in the role throughout start of the season. I was calling for him to be benched really as quick as that Cowboys game, and then we saw it get out of control the following week with the Broncos. Should have been benched that game, and then they finally made the decision to pull him at halftime against the Panthers, or a little after halftime, and it was too late to salvage anything. So I was a fan of the Field signing. I really like the upside that he posed there, but once we started seeing things go downhill, I'll acknowledge I was wrong. I thought Fields was going to be a lot better than he was, but I was not one of the people that you may see who were out there talking about, oh yeah, Fields should remain the starter throughout the course of the season, as if there's some sort of affinity that is tied between a Jet fan and Fields. I didn't have that. I like the signing, but when stuff started to hit the fan, I was ready to move on.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, I'll be quite honest. I was optimistic that he was going to at least be better than what we have seen. But at the same time, I think about 2 games in, we knew what we were kind of signed up for after that. But I'm hoping that this year, at least, I don't know, honestly. There's so much mixed feelings when it comes to being a Jets fan. You want to see the team do good. and you want to see the team win. But then at the same time, you get into that scenario in your head of, well, if we win 7 games and we play ourselves out of, maybe potentially picking up, a future franchise quarterback, it's kind of one of those things, right? But as a Jet fan, you want to root and you want wins. So I'm hoping Geno does good. I don't see why we can't sneak, 7 wins this year, honestly. I think a lot of the games that people are telling us that we can't win, I think we could actually possibly surprise. For instance, I think Green Bay is beatable. I don't think Green Bay is that powerhouse, where we can't sneak in a win against Green Bay. I don't think that
Agreed.
they're a good team, but we've seen them years. So I don't think that they're unbeatable. Defense steps it up this year and gives us some form of competent defensive playing out there, then we definitely have a chance, I think, to surprise some people. So let's see what happens, man. But thank you for taking my call, bud, and keep up the good work, man.
Appreciate the support, Carlos. Yeah, Green Bay is actually interesting because I think among the 3 teams in the NFC North that the Jets are facing off against, they have the best chance of beating Green Bay. I've spoken about how important it is for the Jets to get off to a 2-2 start, in my opinion. Week 1 being a non-negotiable win, and then taking one of the 3 games against the NFC North opponents. To be frank, I think they have the best chance to do just that with Green Bay. You have Micah Parsons, who is out. He will not be in action for week 2. So there's the benefit there. But also, they were just so up and down at points last season, just the overall inconsistency. That's something that the Jets could take advantage of. So I'm intrigued to watch that game. It's going to be the home opener. Imagine that, a 2-0 start. A 2-0 start. That would be tremendous. It would be, and I don't want to get it over my skis, and then you start, then if they win this, they win that, they could be in the hunt. But man, if out of those 3 teams that the Jets are facing in the NFC, I think the Jets have the best chance of getting a win against the Packers among that group. So I'm interested to see how they fare against Green Bay there after week 1 in Tennessee. And I think the outcome of that game could certainly impact what happens in week 2. Shout out to Adam and Clancy dropping in with some more gems. And then Mimosa drops a 10-pack of gifted memberships.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
We'll double up for Mimosa.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Boom. There we go. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships right here on the channel that get you into the raffle. The people who receive those memberships include Jack Hammer, Scott, the Iowa Jet fan, Justin Chadwick, Dominic D'Angelo, Raptor Reality, Deshanty Thomas, Jack, Lindsay, Trainer DC, all receiving gifted memberships. Thanks to Mimosa right here on the channel. Appreciate your support. As always, means a lot, and that will get you into Raffle 81. Aaron also dropping in with a $10 super chat says, what does Cade Klubnik have to do in training camp in the preseason to consider a week 1 starter? I do think so, but I don't. I think you're trying to say I don't think so, but just wondering, like when Dak or Russell Wilson started, what did they see? That's so tough. I can't pinpoint an exact thing because I really just don't think there's any chance that Cade Klubnik becomes the week 1 starter and takes on that role and surpasses Geno. First thing that would need to happen would be a Geno injury. Without a Geno injury, I just don't think it's in play. As it pertains to what does he need to show in the preseason, it's just having a command of an NFL offense, not taking too many sacks, being able to keep the ball moving downfield. But to have any sort of conversation of Klubnik starting in week 1, it would have to start with Geno going down, and then it would open things up between him and Zappy, most likely, for the QB1 role. But in no way, shape, or form, barring an injury, do I think Cade Klubnik could be the Jets QB1 and by the time week 1 begins. Nevertheless, though, thank you for the super chat, Aaron. Your support really does mean a lot right here on the channel. Attempt number 3 is Beast's internet, StreamYard, Wi-Fi, whatever we want to call it. Is it working?
People used to call me Pits. That's why I shave my goddamn body here. That's why I shave my pits. That's why I want to stay fresh.
Why did they call you Pits?
Because I used to stink. You all clear there, kid?
Can you hear me?
Clear? Good, I got you. You're clear.
I think we got a bit of an echo still, but it's better. Okay, I think it went away. Yeah, it's good now.
Hey, it's better than sitting around in your underwear. That's the only scary part, yo. I remember what John Fox once said, which was the scariest part is to watch your dad scratch his ass like he found something new.
Jeez, how are you feeling about the Jets?
Got the remote control. Are we ready? Oh, yeah, we are. We got to win week 1 first. We got to get past, Cowboy Salah. That drugstore cowboy. And you know what I mean by that? Drugstore cowboy.
Beast, the chat is clamoring for your light to come on because we can't see you.
Yeah,
There we go.
It's so's Christmas. How you like them apples? But we're going to Tennessee.
Don't know what that
and
means.
you know what we're going to do? We're going to run roughshod all over that drugstore cowboy. And we're going to give that cowboy a giggle kick in the ass. And we're going to do it with the cowboy boots on. So you may not think that cowboy boots are they're all fancy. No, they're not, son. Cowboy boots are worse than the cat boots. And you know how you can tell? Because those cowboy boots have a little surprise. Little surprise. See, you don't know that. See, know me, I don't like country music, and I don't like cowboys either, because I can't stand
Beast, what is your Jets record prediction this season? Are you still, what did you say?
I already made it loud. Maybe I already made it loud and made it very clear. We will succeed, and we will become either 12-5 or 11-6. And my prediction is going to be loud, short, and sweet. I expect dominance, I expect domination, and I expect total annihilation of the apocalypse, because we will strive to survive. Put that as a new t-shirt. Strive to survive. And in the back, by any means necessary.
Beast, why don't you like John Cena again? I caught something on a show the other day.
He's a loser. Plus, he's not in my league.
I heard you're a big fan of his.
You're incomplete. See, there's a college term that's called incomplete data, incomplete work. I've bled ECW since 1998. Since 98, ECW is what I bleed. You know why?
So you are a John Cena fan, or you aren't?
Terry Funk, all the legends, even Tommy Wildfire Rich, even the great Little Guido Maritano, the Pitbulls, John Cronus and Saturn, Taka Michinoku, many of these ECW guys who bled, who fought their way, even the great Sabu. And you know what I mean by, oh shit, you son of a bitch. I just got a little gas.
Thank you for the call, Beast. We learn something every call. I've now learned about his strong level of hatred for John Cena. So we learn more and more about Beast as we go. There are questions for Beast coming in the chat, so I think we're gonna have to bring him back on. So we'll head back up to the layer to hear Beast's thoughts on some super chats that have been coming in regarding him.
There's some
Beast
pretty
says, what does ECW have to do with Cena?
Crush him. See, you may not know what the history of ECW like I do, because I've bled with it and I've watched all the greats of ECW who came out of there. You take a like to the great Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko. Those three pioneered ECW for what it was. Shane Douglas, who I've met twice.
Shout out to Brandon for the super chat who says ECW is dead, Beast. What are your thoughts there?
Hey, asshole. You know what? Blow me, because ECW is real and ECW is life. And you don't know anything about ECW, because ECW would kick the WWE's ass. And as far as I'm concerned, ECW lives in the hearts of the real wrestling fans. So you're not no real wrestling fan until you've experienced ECW.
Beast, what are your thoughts on Adrian? What are your thoughts on Adrian Adonis?
Adrian Adonis was a great wrestler. In the AWA, he was a star. In the WWF, they made him look like a weirdo. wearing dresses. That made me sick to my stomach and it made me want to regurgitate. See, Vince didn't know what the hell he was doing. See, when he took all the AWA guys, like let's see, Gene Okerlund, Bobby Heenan, Hogan, Slaughter, Iron Sheik, Vince just wanted money. See, Vince Sr., his dad, who ran the WWF, he had a good taste for good quality. Not like Vince Jr. Vince Jr. want competition. See, you gotta watch it very clear. I've been around the game a lot longer than anybody. So if you want real wrestling, you go watch some of the best, like the AWA.
B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It's kind of my thoughts towards the end of that call, but you learn, as I said at the beginning of that, you learn something new every single time you're on with Beast. Shout out to you all in the chat for keeping it going with some wrestling questions there for the incomparable Beast. So thank you all for hanging out with us right here on the channel. I'm Connor Long in for Jake Asman right here on this Thursday edition of the Jake Asman Show. Going to start to wrap things up. So thank you all for hanging out with us right here on the channel. Your last chance to get in on the conversation with the call-in link in the chat. Your last chance to get your super chats and memberships in before we bid farewell. One of our last calls, barring anyone else joining the hotline. Our guy Brandon joining the show. Brandon, how you doing, my friend?
What's up, Connor? How's it going?
Doing well. How's everything with you?
Yeah, can't complain. I'm looking forward to some of these matchups. One of them being the running back matchup. I was gonna make a joke, ironically saying, I think Braylon, I'm pronouncing his name right, should be running back number 2, based off of his Madden rating. I don't know if you guys remember before, Brick Johnson, his son,
Yes.
Johnson's son, recommended something about that. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens. It should be competitive, and I hope that leads to a winning season. But we'll see.
I got you. How are you feeling, like wins and losses wise right now with the team? You like the roster? Don't like it? Where are you right now?
I feel way better than how we did last year. It's just like everyone says, on the coach and the quarterback. I feel a little better about the quarterback, but it can go either left or it can go right. Honestly, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I got you. People are asking, Brandon, where is your head? You weren't in the call to begin with. I think we have that now adjusted. Leo's dog says you have the same cameraman as David T.
One of Beast's favorite wrestlers on merch on Roman Reigns.
Is Beast a Roman Reigns fan? Do we know that, Beast? Are you there? Are you a Roman Reigns fan?
Yes. What are you, freaking high? I bleed ECW. I live ECW. And if you can't handle it, then get the hell out of my sight.
So I think that's a no.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but thanks for having me on, Connor.
Of course. Thank you, Brandon. Have a great day.
Have a good one. Don't let go of the rope, guys.
There we go. Got to throw in that AG quote. Don't let go of the rope, baby. Whatever you do, no matter how bad the start of the year is, always remember, can't let go of the rope, as Aaron Glenn once said. Ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate all your support right here on the channel. Thank you so much for continuing to support the show while I fill in for Jake. Support means a lot. You can find my work at Connor_Long15 on Twitter, where you can follow me. You can read my work, jetsxfactor.com. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, NY Flight Jets Talk. Content starting to pick up there more regularly with training camp now on the horizon. Thank you all for continuing to support the show. You're watching the Jake Asman Show, presented by PrizePicks. Jake will be back tomorrow, but in the meantime, I'm Connor Long right here on the program saying have a great rest of your afternoon, everyone. And as always, JTS, baby. Jets. Peace out, folks.
Hey, Asmaniacs, make sure to hit the like button and keep on supporting the Jake Asman Show.
That's right, Beast. If you don't subscribe to Jake Asman Show, the Jets will never win another game. Go Jets!